Hello everyone, Treecks here, and welcome back one last time to Donkey Kong Country 3. The game is completed, we beat the final boss, we even did all of the extra stuff. The game is 100% complete. However, I still want to cover a couple of things that are lying around. So we're returning one last time. Let's get started immediately, because this might turn out into a two-parter if I'm not quick enough. There's a lot of things to cover. The first thing I'd like to show off, as per tradition, like I did with Donkey Kong Country 2 as well, are all of the warps in this stage. Just like in Donkey Kong Country 2, the first two worlds actually have a lot of warps. In fact, all of the stages do. These you can actually use in order to skip to the end of the stage immediately. So let's go show off where they all are. Starting off with Lakeside Limbo. In this very first stage, we are going to want to go to the first ledge that we can climb up, which is over here. And then we're going to want to use Team Up and throw the other Kong to the left, apparently a little bit higher. Yeah, there we go. Just like in the other Donkey Kong Country games that have them, as you can see, you immediately get thrown out at the end of stage flag. Making this a speedrunner's dream. Unfortunately, they are only present in all of the World 1 and World 2 stages. Starting from World 3, they are no longer a thing. Okay, the one in Doorstop Dash is also pretty easy to find. Okay, we're going to want to move towards the first wall to the right. The moment the stage forces us back to the left. Once we reach this point, we want to throw a Kong in the top right corner and find ourselves a warp barrel. Bam! And that is 2. Yeah, if you're just going to want to go through the game fast, this is the way to deal with the first two worlds. Okay, stage number 3, Tidal Trouble. The second lake level. This one's also pretty easy to find. Oh, and now that we're here, we can also immediately cover this. As you can see, a coin, whenever you've collected the hero coin already, actually no longer holds that quote-unquote DK coin, it just holds a regular garbage bin. You can still take them out, of course, but it won't give you anything. Okay, and now for the warp barrel. This we can actually stand on, and if we do, we can actually toss Kong to the left and find warp barrel number 3. Go away! I can't remember inviting you. But okay, let's go to the snow area next, Skidda's row. This one's also pretty easy to find. Found this one pretty early on in my life on my own. Right over here, at the top of this hill, you can find another warp barrel. This one is off screen, but still, it's pretty obvious it is there. You can imagine when I first tried to find all these things, I was just tossing Kongs over and over at the top of the screen. And this one was pretty early on, so it was not that difficult to find it. Same deal with this one. At the top of this elevator, top left corner, bam. Once again, pretty easy to find. But in case you didn't know, here it is. Okay, and with that we're done with World 1 already. Okay, that went pretty quickly. Luckily it did, because there's a lot of things on the agenda today. So let's quickly cover World 2 as well, which is right next to it, so it should be easy. It's funny, because we could walk there, but we're still taking the gyrocopter. Barrel, shield, bust up. Here in World 2, I think the bonuses are a little... the warps are a little bit harder to find, but still, should be doable. But there's definitely a difference between World 1 and 2. Here in World 2, they are hidden better. And in fact, in World 3, they're hidden so well that they're no longer present. But here they still are, so let's go show off where they are. In fact, this one is actually also hidden pretty well, because this one is really far into the stage. As you can see, we actually need to go all the way over here. At this barrel over here, which normally shoots us back, and you might wonder what the hell is that for? Well, simple. The room actually hides a warp barrel. And here it is. stage 2. Let's go to Riverside Race. Not just the stage where you can speedrun. You can speedrun it even more by heading into a warp barrel. Where is it hidden here? Do be careful because of the insects following you. It can be a little bit tricky to enter it. But above this first lake... Yeah. Okay, I still got it. Thank you. You can actually still finish the stage this way. However, don't think you can cheese the Brother Bear with this, because as you can see, if you take the warp barrel, the time gets set to 10 minutes. So, cheesing the record with this is not going to happen. Just take that in consideration, but of course, in order to finish off the stage, you can still use it. Squeals on Wheels is up next. This one I think is a little bit easier in comparison to some of the others. This one is just above here, after the first hatch. For this one you don't need my help, this one's pretty easy to find, as you can clearly see. Okay, number 4 is going to be springing spiders. This one took me a while to find, but this one is also not really that difficult. Just took me a while in order to find it, but still. It's right over here, in this corner. For some reason I skipped checking out that corner when I first tried to go for the warp barrels in this game, but as you can see, it's pretty easy to find. Let's go to the final one, Bobbing Barrel Brawl. I think this one is the hardest warp barrel to find in this game. This one definitely took me the longest. Not even too sure if I found this one on my own or actually needed some help, but eventually I did find it. And it's in fact up here. The place where that booty bird was. Even higher above that is actually where the warp barrel was. Apparently only Dixie can reach that, so do it like this. And here we are. And that is all of the warp barrels in Donkey Kong Country 3. We'll be returning to that category in Donkey Kong Land 3. But for now, this was it. Okay. Number 2 on the agenda is actually a little bit of a show-off. Remember how I love Riverside Race so much, how I'd like to speedrun that? I'd like to actually show off a true speedrun of that, because last time I was distracted by the DK coin and the bonuses, of course. So, let's go do a true race this time. Let's go see how fast I can do this stage. I'm probably not gonna go for a perfect time, but I'll see how low on time I can get. Remember to skip over the water, that goes faster, and also try to roll over all of the enemies, because when you roll on an enemy you will also speed up a little bit. And definitely skip out on the bonuses. Even if you go through the bonuses, you can still make that 115 that you need to do for the Brother Bear quest. But of course, skipping them, you can go even faster. Now we're not going for 115, now we're going for fastest time possible. Oh, got hit by a wall a little bit there. And again. So once again, this is not going to be a perfect run. But I don't care, I'll just do it like this. Barely over a minute. I'm pretty sure I can do it under, but for now this is fine enough. A little bit of a show-off in Riverside Race. Always fun to do. Like I promised the first time we passed through here, sometimes I boot up this game just to do this stage. And that is how bad it is. And Stampede Sprint also, of course, also a speedrunning level. Okay, next thing on the agenda is here in Mechanos. Because if you remember correctly, there was actually a bonus in Low G Labyrinth that actually put us way too far into the stage, making us miss a pretty big part of the stage. So let's go show that off now, what we've missed then. Okay, this is where you go in order to reach for the bonus. However, if you go in here, you actually miss a very large chunk of the stage. So let me show off what you miss exactly. It is, to be honest, not a very large chunk you miss, but it is definitely the biggest part of something you skip whenever you enter a bonus, because usually it's pretty traditional that you exit the bonus pretty near where you entered it, but for this stage that actually is not the case. As you can see, we have this corridor, we have the next corridor. There's even a couple of buzzer challenges here, so... all things you miss if you're going for 100%. Okay, and here we finally are. Like I said, it's not an extremely large chunk of stage, but still... it is noteworthy because of being the biggest chunk you miss whenever you exit the bonus. Multiple corridors. For every other bonus in the game, I was able to show off what we've missed, so this is going to be the only thing we cover on that category. So let's move on to the next thing I'd like to show off, and that is in Razor Ridge. Here in this stage, Pothole Panic, we can actually play this stage without animal buddies, with the exception of one. Because I've tried this out in the last couple of years. The Squawks part we still need to do with Squawks. Because this we cannot reach, even with Team Up. But the moment we actually lose Squawks and get to the on-guard section, we can actually start skipping out all of the animals. This stage is trying to be the animal antics of this game, from Donkey Kong Country 2, where you actually go through all of the animal buddies and do some challenges with them. However, this stage actually did not do that very well, because with the exception of the Squawks section, you can actually skip out on all of the animal buddies. Unlike in Animal Antics, you actually don't transform into the animal buddies in this stage. You actually stay the Kongs and simply ride the animals. But because of that, we can actually simply skip them. Ellie, also, we don't need you. For that reason, I don't really understand why they actually went for this... oops. For this form of riding the animals instead of actually transforming into them. Because this way we can actually skip out on all of them. With the exception of Squawks. But still, since we can skip the other three, it's still noteworthy of showing off, I think. Sorry, Squitter, we don't need you. Even Squitter, we do not need. Always something that stood by me, so I wanted to show that off too. Pothole Panic, only Squawks, nothing else. Okay, let's move on to the Lost World now. Also something in the category of showing things off, being fancy. Criss Cross Cliffs actually has a very fun little thing we can play around with. So let's go to the top of the stage, because we need to be at the very top of the stage in order to do this. So this might take a while. But it actually has to do with this middle shaft that actually shoots out all of these kegs that we're going to want to play around with. Okay, before we actually reach the top, there's actually something else I'd like to show off. Last time we actually went to the left here, but this is actually a split pathway. So let's go show off what is to the right. Also part of a stage we missed. Low G Labyrinth was apparently not the only one, even though this was a small bit, but still, here it is. Okay, we've reached the top. Oh, don't want to go down too quick. Let's get prepared first. Here's something we can play around with. This shaft in the middle, we don't only use it to go up, we can also use it to go down. So, try to get in the situation where you're beside the kegs, and this can happen. Going down all the way. And to make it extra funny, all the kegs that actually hit the buzzers here start falling down with us. Ow, come on, Dixie. Stop ruining the fun. Always something that gives me a good laugh, trying to fall down the shaft all the way from the top. If you can squeeze yourself between the wall and the kegs, you can use this to get a good laugh. Okay, and that was the final thing. So that leaves only one thing to cover, and that is the cheats in this game. I did show off one of the cheats already, the toughest difficulty cheat. I had to show that one off because I wanted to play on the toughest difficulty. But of course, that was not the only cheat in this game. There's way more. And with all of the level business taken care of, that is the only thing we still need to do. So let's open up our cheat menu again. And let's input some more cheats. The first one I can quickly scratch off is the harder cheat. Like I said, there's 2 hard difficulties in this game. If you input toughest, you will not get any Kong barrels and no checkpoints. But there's also still the regular hard difficulty, the one we know from Donkey Kong Country 2. For that one, we want to input harder, spelled like this, H-A-R-D-R. With this cheat, you will still get checkpoint barrels, but no Kong barrels. Complete the game like this, for a maximum of 104%. I don't have to show that off, because it speaks for itself. So, next cheat is going to be something that will be shown off. The lives cheat. Remember in Donkey Kong Country 2 there was a cheat that lets you start with 50 lives. Also present in this game. It's a pretty easy cheat because we simply input lives. L-I-V-E-S. Okay, and if we go into one of the stages now, we should begin with 50 lives. Yeah, here we go. You can see it at the top right. The lives cheat gives you 50 lives, so in case you game over quickly because of the game giving you trouble, this way you can make it a little bit easier. 50 lives to start with. Of course, those you can also still run out of, so be careful. But anyway, it's a thing. Okay, let's move on to the more interesting cheats, because these are the basic cheats, of course. There are, of course, a lot of more interesting ones. The next one... yeah, let's go with this one. Input A, S, A, V, E, A save. Short for autosave. If we input this cheat, the game will actually enable an autosave cheat. Something that is pretty normal nowadays, autosave. Saving after every single stage instead of going into a save point to save the game manually. Interesting how this is present as a cheat, but the game doesn't use it normally. But there is an autosave cheat in this game. If you can't wait for Wrinkly's save cave, this way the game will save after every stage on its own. Okay, next one. M E R R Y. Merry. And yes, that is short for Merry Christmas. Let's go show off the Christmas cheat in this game. There is Christmas in this game. Okay, this is actually a cheat that you won't notice normally. This one actually only gets implemented in the bonuses. In 2 different ways. So let's go find ourselves a bonus. And we know one is over here. Listen to the music the moment the bonus starts. That's the first indication. The regular bonus theme actually gets changed into a Christmas theme. And not only that, the stars, whenever we're dealing with a collect the stars bonus like this one, actually change into Christmas balls. And as you can hear, even the clearing a bonus jingle also becomes a little bit of a Christmas theme. So if you're playing this game in December, always make sure to enable the Merry cheat before you start playing. Where do they come up with things like this? But anyway, don't think that was the final cheat. There's a couple more. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, here's another smaller one that isn't too important. I'll cover it no matter what. We can actually also input the cheat erase. And no, that does not erase your game, so you don't have to worry. This erase actually erases all of the high scores that you have in this game. Like the Riverside race score, for instance. This will reset all of the high scores in-game. It's not the same as this erase, so don't worry, like I said. But that is actually also something that is a thing, apparently. Okay, what do we have next? Okay, this one is pretty interesting. Let's input color. We are going to play Donkey Kong Land 3 on the Game Boy Color, after all, in a couple of weeks, but still. This game also has a color cheat. And let's go see what it does, because this is also one we can show off. So let's go in the game. You can already see it on the overworld here. Kiddy and Dixie are actually wearing... no, not different clothes, they're the same clothes, but they're in a different color. There's a different color scheme for them, so... If you don't really like the way Kiddy and Dixie look, and like this green and purple clothing of them a little bit better, you can actually input a color cheat in order to give them a little bit of a different color. I think this is the only one, so don't go try this cheat out multiple times to get multiple color schemes. They always look like this if you try it like this. Okay, and with that, we only have one more cheat to go. And this is actually the most important one, other than the toughest difficulty cheat. If you remember correctly, in Donkey Kong Country 2, there was a way to actually cheese all of the bonus coins. Sequence of actions that you needed to do in the first stage in order to get all of the bonus coins instantly. Something similar is also in this game. For that, we're going to want to input the water cheat. And once you do that, we actually get access to the first waterfall in this game. This waterfall, normally it's something that blocks you off. Something you need to turbo ski for in order to get up. But with the water cheat, we can actually go in here and find a banana bird cave. And this banana bird cave is special because if we clear this one, we don't just get a banana bird. No, we get infinite bonus coins. And that is the way to cheese the bonus coins in this game. Just like in Donkey Kong Country 2, there's a way to skip out all of the bonuses and still get your 100% in this game. Also a thing. But okay, with that we have covered all of the cheats. Those are the things you can play around with in this game. And we're at around 22 minutes, I see, so... yeah. Good way to close this off. This was Donkey Kong Country 3, people. Let's go show off one last thing. Because of course, as you remember, in Donkey Kong Country 1 and 2, there was a music test. And that is also in this game. Input MUSIC, spell music, in the cheat code menu. In order to access the music test of this game. Why can't you ever just give it to us normally, Rare? Why do you always have to hide it like this? But all of the sounds in this game, all of the music, you can find here. My favorite one, of course, being Rock Face Rumble. For the mountain stages. But anyway, all of them are here. Also something you can play around with. But okay, with that, Donkey Kong Country 3 has been fully covered. There's nothing more I can do. Looking at my list of cheats, this was the final one. Everything taken care of. The game 105% completed even. So, time for closing. It was fun playing this game again. Combined with Donkey Kong Country 2, definitely the ones I play the most. A game that always gives a smile to my face, you might say. The Donkey Kong Country games are always a blast to play. And we're not done with them. We're done on the SNES, but we're not done with them. Next up is Donkey Kong Land 3 on the Game Boy Color. I will be playing a hack of that game in order to get the Japanese version some English text. So we can play that game in full glory color. And after that, it is a long wait until Donkey Kong Country returns. But even after Donkey Kong Land 3, the DKC series is not over. See you folks next project, which will start next week. Hope you enjoyed, and see you folks next time. Treecks out.